Good morning, everybody, and welcome to FCA. Today, my dad, Ron Dupree, is going to be doing our devotion. Hope you all have a great rest of your day and get something good out of the lesson. Goodbye.
Good morning, everybody. How are you this morning? My name's Ron Dupree, Jackson's father. He asked me to come speak to you this morning at FCA. It's kind of odd sitting here looking at a camera or a cell phone talking to you, but what's not been odd about 2020. So we'll do the best we can. And in doing that, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the message this morning. Kind of came to me because Jackson initially asked me to speak to you this morning. And when he did, that kind of led me to the next thing. And when I started back in church back many years ago, my Sunday school class that we attended was called Ask, Seek, and Knock. And at that time, I really didn't know what Ask, Seek, and Knock was. I just knew that was the name of our class. Well, as I dove off into the Bible, I really learned what that really was. And it's really something that should apply to all of our lives because it's something that Jesus said. In Luke chapter 11, in verse 9, it says, "And I say unto you, ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be opened." So let's take that ask, seek, and knock, and let's apply it to our prayer life. And we want to look at that. If we look at the word ask, we can take the A and it can stand for ask. We can take the S and it can stand for seek. And we can take the K and it can stand for knock. So anytime you see that word, you can always think of ask, seek, and knock. Well, if we look at that from a prayer standpoint, the first is just simply asking. So we go to the Lord and we ask Him for lots of things. And there are lots of simple things. They're just things that we need on a daily basis. Like we need love, we need assurance, we need power, we need prayer, we need just the little things that we need. Courage and wisdom and all of those things. A lot of times when we ask those things, they're given to us immediately. God grants us those prayers immediately. But there's times that we ask for things that we don't get immediately. And that's when the seek part of this thing comes in. Because seeking is not a simple act. If you think about when you lose something and you have to go seek it, you have to go find it, a lot of times that's a difficult task and it takes some time. So some of the things that we ask for come to us real quick, and sometimes they don't. And those that they don't, it's okay, because God says that if we seeketh, we'll findeth. So if we're asking for prayer, if there's a prayer that we're asking for, and it don't come immediately, then that doesn't mean God's not going to answer it. It just means that we may have to seek a little bit. We may have to continue to read in His Word. We may have to continue to pray and do those things to seek His guidance for us. And sometimes, maybe that don't even get you there. And that's when the knocking part comes. And the knocking part is not just a single knock. Think about it this way. If somebody was after you, chasing you, and you ran up to a house to try to get some help, you wouldn't just walk up to the door and just have one single knock. You're going to walk up to the door and you're going to be knocking on that door. Well, God tells us to do that sometimes. He tells us that, look, if you ask and you seek and you knock, He will provide us all of those things. He will provide us everything, because it says in the Bible, if we ask, that we'll get it. And it's not necessarily the things that we want, but it's our needs. God always provides for our needs. Now, a lot of times He don't provide what we want. I mean, I really like to have a 2020 Silverado pickup truck, but I got a 2000 Silverado pickup truck because that's all that I need. Maybe someday I'll get the other. That's really not that important, but God always provides for our needs and not necessarily our wants, because there was a prime example of that. There was a man in 2003, I believe it was, his name was Jack Whitaker. He won the lottery. It was a Christmas Day lottery. And he won the lottery. At that time, it was $315 million. And he had always wanted to be a rich man. And he became a very rich man. One night, Christmas Eve of I think it was 2003, he won the lottery. At that time, the largest lottery that there ever had been. Years later, he had lost his wife to divorce. He lost a grandchild that overdosed. He lost a daughter that committed suicide. And at that point in time, he said that was the worst thing that had ever happened to him in his life. Something that he had always thought that he needed. But God don't make any mistakes. He always gives us what we need, not necessarily what we want. So we always need to be careful in what we ask for. And with that, Jackson, I hope you're watching me, because this is really going to apply to you, because later on this morning you're going to go take your Algebra 2 test. But when you take your Algebra 2 test, I hope that you've asked the good Lord to help you through this. But more than that, I hope that you seek the right answers in your book and in your study guide. Because if you go home by bad grade, I'm going to knock you upside your head. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.